Okay. Hi, Scott, and others who may come later. Apparently, I think Scott made this plan in Architectural 2012, and it looks like to me he's done a pretty darn good job being completely self-taught from, the word go. It's just using architectural, there's just limitations on what you can do. And I'll say again, what you've done is really fantastic. It looks great. So what you can't do in architectural that you can do in Pro. Now I'm in Chief Architect X4, but Pro and Chief Architect have the same capabilities in terms of manual editing of roofs. Looks like you've got, what is that? Dormer. Okay, a dormer. Yeah, you've done all right. You can't. Now, one of the things about the dormer tool is it can't cross two pitches. So we got a lower pitched roof here. You can't even do what I'm doing here, select the roof planes. But you can't put a dormer across two pitches. When you use the dormer tool, it has to fit in one roof plane. And this dormer is too large to fit in just this plane or just this plane. And I know you need it over here, but it's just never going to, the geometry is not going to work for that tool. So I don't intend to try to solve all your problems, but I just am doing this video tutorial here to show you what can be done if you'll go ahead and upgrade to Pro. And so what I'm going to do is, again, you can't do this in architectural, but in the edit toolbar, that's the one that jumps into being whenever you select something. And when I'm going to hit the space bar, and when you deselect something, it disappears. You say that's the edit toolbar. Normally it's docked down here like that, and you'd never see the label on it. So I just pull it off like that to show you. Now in Pro and in Chief Architect S4, I can explode the dormer from a unified object into its constituent parts. That was a big word, constituent. See, now that's just a roof plane and a roof plane and a window and a wall, and blown it up into parts. So I'm going to, now something else you can't do in Pro, but that's one of the things you pay a lot more money for Chief Architect Premier, is there's different sets of layers that I can use. It just doesn't exist in Pro. I'm going to go to the roof plan set and turn off some of these things that I don't need to have on in order to work on just the roofs. Like I'm going to turn off, in this roof plan set, I'm going to turn off rooms, get the R key to go to rooms, rooms. I'm going to turn off rooms. That's the fills that you put in there. I'm going to turn off the grid. I never use the grid and grid snaps. I do use object snaps and angle snaps. I'm simplifying the plan down so I don't have to constantly click on something and hit the tab key to tab through to what I actually want to, work on. I'm going to turn off room names. I don't need room names. Turn off room labels, excuse me. They changed the layer name to labels. And walls I went in there, but I don't want to have to select walls. Well, let's see, some walls I'm going to need to select, aren't I? Yeah, that's right. So some of this stuff isn't going to make sense because you can't do it in architectural, but you can do it in Pro. So like I said a moment ago, a dormer cannot cross this demarcation line between this roof pitch, which is, where's the label for it? I don't see the label. Well, no big deal. Open the dialog and you can see the label. It's 912, and this roof plane here, the lower pitched one, is 312. Okay. I see the label for the 312. I don't see it. Oh, there it is for the 912. It's in the middle. Let's see if I can move that over. No, not without the dialog. I'm going to turn off the gutters. The gutters are on in this roof plan set. So your roofs, gutters. I don't need gutters. I don't need, I'll leave the labels on. Openings I'm going to leave on. Freeze moldings I don't need. Some of these layers don't exist in architectural, but they do exist in Pro and in Chief Premier. So what I'm going to do is grab, I'm going to click on this wall, shift select that wall, and then I'm holding the shift key down and left clicking to get what's called a selection set. I'm going to move this wall, this set down here, and that's where your plan shows that it should be bearing over this outside wall. But see, I exploded the dormer into its constituent parts, and this piece here is a polyline that cuts a hole in the roof. See, it's hole. Again, you would never see this in architectural because it doesn't exist, but in Pro and Chief it does. There's it's a two-dimensional polyline that cuts a hole in the roof. To get this done, I can't use that, so I'm going to delete that. And here's the roof planes that came in with that dormer. I am going to shift select those and drag those down. I'm not going to worry about the total symmetry because I'm not going to send you this plan, and I'm just kind of showing you what can be done. You can see the geometry here that this dormer, even without it being enlarged, is going to cross both roof planes, and that was a problem for architectural because that's a line over which it can't go. So, excuse me. And this is really complicated for a new person to do, and I'm sorry, but just the way it is. I'm going to go back to an overview camera because doing this in plan view would just be even more confusing. I think maybe doing it in a camera view, I'm going to go use a vector camera so that you can see the edge lines a little bit more easily. So I just pulled that wall out, or these three walls, and I pulled the roof planes down, but there's a big gap underneath them. They're still the same. See, it's basically the same piece that it was. And I just wanted to, the point of this tutorial is just show you how you would go from point A to point B. I click on this roof plane and extrude it out. I'm going to click on this edge of it, and you can see that this move handle here is larger than this one, or this one, or this one, so that's the edge that's selected. I'm going to use the Join Roofs tool and click on the lower edge of this one. And I was expecting this error message here to come up. It just means that the job's what I want to do. What the command I gave the software was beyond its capabilities. But it should join that edge with this edge. That's all I was trying to accomplish. And we swing around here, you can see that it is joined. That's what I was trying to do. I'm going to do the same thing with this roof plane. Just repeat the same action. Click on that edge, use the Join Roofs tool, and click on this roof plane. And again, I'll get that error message saying that it can't, it's telling me I can't do what I just ordered it to do, but it does do part of it, see? It does line that up. Let's see, let me take a look at your, yeah, I'm right, it bears right over the porch. Okay, I'll look at your email you sent me. Okay, so I'm going to go back to plan view for a second. I'm hitting Control Tab to go back from the open windows. I'm going to take this roof plane, not that roof plane, the next one, this one. And using the break line tool, break line, I'm going to put a break in it right there, and then a break in it over here on the other side to match. And click on the break tool again, left click, and click in the middle. So I broke this single line into 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. And I'm going to pull that, well, I didn't mean to do that. There. You know, if I get too many lines, I can drag the corner of one line into another line and then simplify the geometry of the thing there. That's what I wanted to try. I'm trying to match basically the geometry in this roof plane that'll accept this roof plane. And now that I've done that manually, I can use the Join Roofs tool and join those two edges. And see, they did join. With manual roof editing, you have to do part of the work yourself, and then the okay, this error message here is just for this unit of time. It couldn't carry out the command, and I know what I'm doing is correct, so I'm just going to help the software out and pull that a little closer, and then give the command again. Wait till the other roof plane selected, and left click, and see, and it carried out the command. So that error message when you're manually editing roofs is just saying that there's more work to be done. So I'm going to extend. Let me put that back. I just wanted you to see that is the edit toolbar. I'm going to extend this wall back. I'm not quite sure exactly where it goes, but I'm just going to jerk it back to there and over here. I'm not sure what this little square is here that you've got there. I don't care. That's your problem. But I do know that those walls are going to need to extend back some. Now I'm going to alter this roof plane. See, roof planes by default, I'll go back to the overview camera, hit Control Tab to go back to the other open window. Roof planes cut off walls, and see right now this roof plane doesn't have a hole in it, and the only reason it's not cutting this wall off is because this wall here has a special command in it. I'm going to open this dialog box and go to the roof tab of that wall, and you'll see it says roof cuts wall at bottom. And that's fine. That's the reason the wall is still there. If I uncheck that, you'll see the wall disappear. See, it's chopped off down below. It's down here now. So by telling that wall, and when you create an automatic dormer, it comes in with this is part of the constituent parts of that. If I click OK, then you'll see that wall reappear on top of the roof. Or maybe not. Anyway, what I'm going to do is cut a hole for these walls to poke through. So I'm going to take this roof plane and do the line break tool over here next to this wall, and then another line break over on the other side to match. And I'm going to take this new segment and pull it down so it's not over the walls anymore. It'll cut a hole for those walls. I'm sure this probably looks like Greek that I'm doing here. Okay, it looks like the roof. Yeah, these side walls still have the roof cuts wall at bottom command in it, and I'm going to leave that in there for this demonstration. See, both of those side walls are the dormer, and this wall, this wall here probably doesn't. Oh, it does. Okay, I'm going to take. Well, maybe I better leave that in. And I'm going to pull this on just underneath the edge of the roof because it's supposed to be cut off and rest on the roof. Here, here, and here. Now let's go back to the overview and see if that doesn't look a little bit closer. Okay, there's one little line in there. That's basically it. And let's see in your email. Go back to that. Nope, not him. That's another client. Where'd yours go? Well, I'm giving away all my trade secrets here. I thought I had your email up. That's you. No. Okay. Hang on a second. There it is. Yeah, okay, these roof planes die into the edge. Okay, I just wanted to verify that little element of it. So that would be, I got a little more work to do. So those sidewalls I really don't need to worry about. This one here, they're not going to exist. I'm going to delete them. I thought maybe I would need them, but after further study, no, I'm not going to need them. So I'm going to take these two edges over here, this one, and just make it one edge. Wait a minute, I probably need two edges now that I think about it. I'm going to take this edge that I created and take these kinks out of it by dragging them into each other. Left click, drag. Get rid of that edge. Left click, drag. And then this edge here I'm going to connect to this angle like that, and then I disconnected this edge, so I'm going to connect that back like that. I'm just about done with this demonstration. I'm going to get rid of these kinks just like I did on the other side of the roof by dragging them to a nearby corner. The cursor changes to a double arrow, then a left click and drag. You can tell that this is not something you're going to learn on a Saturday evening. It takes a while to learn the hand-eye coordination and what you click, when you click. use the join roofs tool and connect this edge to this edge. It should kind of mirror this one on the other side. This edge didn't disconnect, and then this wall is going to have to get wider. Let me just show you in the overview. You'll see why it needs to get wider. To fill in this area here, I'm going to click on the wall polyline, which is something you don't have much to do with in architectural, and just pull that over and pull this over. And that's about what your house is supposed to look like. And the capabilities built into architectural are beyond what you actually need. So I didn't want you to think that I was just pulling your leg and are trying to make money for Chief Architect Incorporated. This kind of roof requires this kind of tool in order to do. Now the other side is just the way you left it. So we went from this, I exploded the dormer and then reshaped. I got rid of some of the elements of this as a dormer tool and then reshaped it into something closer to what your house actually looks like. So I thought this, I didn't want you to think I was just Mr. Know-It-All and throwing my weight around and so forth. This roof, I don't think can be done in architectural. You got as close as can be done in architectural, but with this. But you have to have Pro or you have to have Chief Architect Premier in order to go further and actually get this done. Okay, well, I hope this helps some people. And again, Mr. Menard, you did wonderfully, and good on you. But I think you're going to need to upgrade to Pro if you want to finish this house design out. Okay, thank you very much. That's it for tonight.